Boosie's son Tootie Raw sentenced to 10 years, and Charleston White says he put him there. Boosie Badazz's son, Tootie Raw, just got hit with 10 years in federal prison for carrying a gun with a switch, and the wildest part, Charleston White is proudly taking credit for it. According to Charleston, after Tootie threatened him online, he tipped off the feds himself. And not long after, footage surfaced showing Tootie in cuffs, arrested with the illegal weapon inside his car. Now, Boosie, a Southern rap legend who built a multi-million-dollar empire after surviving the streets, has to watch his own son throw it all away chasing clout. But who's really to blame here? Is Charleston White truly responsible for Tootie's downfall? Or did Boosie's own parenting create this tragedy? Before the courtroom tears, before the viral clips of Boosie breaking down, it's worth rewinding to how his son even got here. Tootie Raw's upbringing and street immigrant. You hear the name Boosie Badazz, you think survivor, a Baton Rouge icon, a man who lived through shootouts, prison time, diabetes battles, and federal cases, and still turned his pain into platinum plaques. So naturally, you'd expect his son to live the good life, far removed from chaos, the kind of life Boosie never had. But instead of using his father's success as a way out, Tootie Raw seemed determined to prove he was nothing like a rapper's spoiled kid. He wanted stripes. He wanted respect. He wanted to be street certified. From early on, Tootie made that clear. Instead of posting music studio sessions or red carpet moments, he was online flashing stacks of cash, blowing smoke, and flexing pistols, even though his dad was worth millions and could have handed him a career in music or business. Tootie was chasing validation from the streets, not the stage. And Boosie? He didn't exactly stop him. Unlike rappers who try to shield their kids from the world they escaped, Boosie let his kids see the real. He even bragged about it, telling interviewers how he let his sons hustle, smoke, and hang with street dudes. To him, that wasn't bad parenting. It was keeping it real. "I don't raise no soft kids," Boosie once said. "My boys gone know the streets. I ain't raising no suburb babies." To Boosie, he was preparing his sons for a cold world. But that mindset came with a cost. Instead of seeing his father's success as a blueprint for better, Tootie used it as a backdrop, turning the same environment Boosie barely survived into his own playground. While most celebrity kids were showing off designer trips and private schools, Tootie was showing off pistols, weed, and trap life. It was all content until it wasn't. The internet persona and the setup be his mid-teens. Tootie had built a rep online for being reckless. Videos of him smoking heavy, arguments on IG Live, clips of him waving guns. It became part of his brand. Boosie's son, but hood with it. Fans started warning that he was on a crash course. Then came Charleston White. If you've been on social media in the last few years, you know exactly who Charleston is. He's not a rapper. He's not a street dog. He's a professional button pusher, an internet figure who trolls rappers, mocks gang culture, and proudly calls the police on anyone who threatens him. He doesn't hide it either. He brags about it. So when Tootie Raw jumped online and started talking slick, threatening Charleston like he was any other internet troll, it was a recipe for disaster. Charleston took it personally. "Boosie's boy don't know how to fight," he said in one of his viral videos. "He gone crash out. I'm watching him. I'm calling them people on him." He even said flat out, "If Boosie's son keep flashing them switches, I'ma make sure the feds know about it." Most people brushed it off as typical Charleston White trolling. But here's the difference: he really does call the cops. He's admitted multiple times to sending reports, filing complaints, and tipping off law enforcement whenever rappers incriminate themselves online. And sure enough, just weeks after that exchange, the footage dropped. Police lights flashing, Tootie in cuffs, officers pulling a Glock out of his car modified with a switch. The switch and the sentenza, for those who don't know. A switch is a small illegal device that turns a regular semi-automatic handgun into a fully automatic weapon. In seconds, it transforms a pistol into a mini machine gun capable of firing 20 to 30 rounds with one pull of the trigger. It's one of the most serious gun charges in the federal system. And it carries a mandatory 10-year sentence, no probation, no shortcuts. So when cops found that in Tootie's car, it wasn't just another rapper kid gun case. It was federal time waiting to happen. In the arrest video, Tootie looked stunned. The same kid who'd been all over Instagram acting fearless suddenly looked like any other scared teenager. Officers searched the car, pulled the weapon, and confirmed what Charleston had been bragging about for weeks. The internet blew up instantly. Fans pieced it together. Charleston said it would happen. Then it did. Charleston wasted no time going live. I told y'all I was gone get Boosie's boy, he yelled. Say, Boosie, I told you I was gone make that boy crash out. He wanted to play gangster, now he gone sit down and pretend to be one in prison. To Charleston, this was proof his snitching crusade was working. To Boosie, it was a nightmare come to life. Boosie's reaction and public backlash. Imagine being Boosie, a man who fought through poverty, dodged death, and beat multiple charges. Now watching your own son fall for the same traps you spent decades warning about. When the news broke, Boosie didn't hold back. He called Charleston White every name in the book. A rat, a clout chaser, a disgrace to black culture. He said Charleston was targeting his family and that the system was always ready to lock young black men away. But not everyone agreed. Some fans felt sympathy. Others said it was karma. They pointed out how Boosie himself had publicly bragged about letting his sons be real, how he'd allowed them to smoke, post guns, and live like street kids even though they grew up in mansions. To critics, this wasn't Charleston's fault, it was Boosie's parenting coming home to roost. Online debates went crazy. Some defended Boosie, saying he was just trying to raise strong sons in a dangerous world. Others said he blurred the line between real and reckless, and now Tootie was paying the price. Either way, the sentence was official: 10 years. The courtroom moment. Inside the courtroom, reports say Tootie sat quietly, head down, barely speaking. His lawyer couldn't do much, the evidence was solid, the gun was real, and the law was unforgiving. When the judge read out 1 to a month, Boosie reportedly broke down. This wasn't just another viral headline, it was his blood, his son, being led away in shackles. For Boosie, that pain hit deeper than anything Charleston White could ever say online. He'd spent his whole life building a legacy, and now part of that legacy was sitting behind bars, parenting, privilege, and the cycle after the sentence. The conversation around the case shifted from gossip to reflection. People started asking, how did it get this far? Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about Charleston White's antics or Tootie's arrest. It's about the generational cycle of street life, how sons of rappers keep falling into the same traps their fathers barely escaped. Boosie came up in the trenches. For him, being tough wasn't an image, it was survival. But when he raised his kids, he wasn't in the trenches anymore. He was a millionaire with resources, influence, and opportunity. The problem? He raised his kids like he was still in the hood. He wanted them to understand the streets, but they didn't have to live them. That blurred line became dangerous. Tootie grew up with wealth, but chased poverty's validation, trying to prove he was just as real as the world his dad once fought to leave behind. And that's the tragic irony. Rappers work their entire careers to escape the streets, only for their kids to run right back into them. Charleston White's victory lap. Meanwhile, Charleston White celebrated like he'd just won a championship. He went live multiple times, dancing, clowning Boosie, and saying he'd teach these rappers and their kids a lesson. I'm the police's friend. He bragged, you threatened me, I'ma make sure you go to jail. These rapper kids think they gangstas, they gon' learn today. To his supporters, Charleston was holding the culture accountable. To his critics, he was exploiting young black men's downfall for views and clout. Either way, his mission was clear: expose and punish anyone glorifying street life online. The bigger picture at this story goes beyond Boosie and Tootie. It's about what happens when fame, freedom, and social media collide. In today's world, one live stream can change your life. One post can turn a flex into a felony. Tootie Raw didn't get caught by the streets, he got caught by the internet, by ego, and by a man who made a career out of catching rappers slipping. Now, Boosie's family is left to pick up the pieces. Tootie won't see the free world for a decade. Charleston White is still online celebrating, and the culture is left asking who's next. Closing thoughts: at the end of the day, this story isn't just about a rapper's son doing time. It's a cautionary tale about how the streets don't care who your father is. Boosie spent his life escaping those traps. His son walked straight into them. Charleston White didn't create that problem, he just exposed it. And maybe that's the saddest part. Even with all the money, fame, and success in the world, the cycle still repeats. Because in hip-hop, keeping it real can sometimes cost you everything.